Mahmoud, why is it so hard to be back-to-back champions? What factors into having to defend your title the following year?
I think one of the first things that comes to mind is how hard it is not just to keep the same group for a lot of big clubs nowadays, because there's only such elite clubs that if you win, take your players, but to maintain that level of focus, maintain that level of intensity, right? And also for a lot of these teams, you go from being the hunter to being the hunted, where every single team wants to knock you off your perch. And so to do what a Real Madrid has done, to do what a Milan has done, I mean, that's legendary in its own right.
Yeah, keep that project, but who's the only team to have done it? It's Real Madrid. Keep your manager, keep your players, but also you need to have the individual quality, and that team had arguably the best player, probably the best player in the history of the Champions League. Cristiano Ronaldo can help you maintain that project, maintain that consistency in the elite moments where you as a team have to deliver. So I think that almost like it's an underrated component. I feel like, okay, yeah, Real Madrid back-to-back. Yeah, hold up. But Real Madrid had arguably not only the best player in the history of this competition, but arguably one of the best players of all time. Mind you, Messi couldn't even go back-to-back. You know how difficult that is? It's easier said than done.
It was, I don't like saying the word easier, but it was easier in the early days of the competition. This Real Madrid team, they're freakish the way that they did it, because if you go back to the very start of the competition, only, I think it's 15, 16 times of the winner of the trophy got into the final the next season, and only 50% won it. So it's extraordinarily difficult to do. It's also as well, since '92 and it expanded. You go from not just the champions of Europe; it's an expanded competition. It's tougher, bigger squads, bigger clubs are in the competition.
More matches.
Yeah, more matches.
You do have more margin of error, though. There's less. Less knockout stage games. I feel like before, like European Cup, but back in the day, you lost, you were out.
You can't argue that it is tremendously difficult. Don't matter how good they were last season, and they were sensational. If they do it again, that would be a staggering achievement.
Just to put it into perspective, the best team that we've ever seen with our own eyes, like at its peak, was
Barcelona.
09.
Yeah.
2011?
Then they go back in 2010 and try to repeat, and we're saying they're going to do it, front runners, and then they're faced with a Milan team that kind of, Jose Mourinho had seen what they had done the year before and figured them out in a semi-final of the Champions League. It only delayed the eventual next Champions League win, which came the very next year. But imagine, even the 2009 project was slowly coming apart. Like, they lost Eto'o, they brought in Zlatan. There were moving parts. So within the core, there's going to be guys coming and going that could be the difference makers between winning it and not winning it. It is so delicate, and I feel like Real Madrid winning back-to-back, it's just because it's Real Madrid, we kind of just say, back-to-back Real Madrid.
It's still incredible.
It's remarkable. It is at the highest standard of what you want to achieve as a footballing institution, and that's why Real Madrid is the greatest footballing institution in the history of the sport.
When you take a look at recent history of how reigning champions in Champions League have done the following years, usually that they crash out in the quarterfinals, except for Real Madrid in the 21-22 season, they did crash out in the semifinals in that one. So, Lahoud, what do you think is the fate of this PSG side? How confident are you in them?
I'm very confident in their matchup against Liverpool. And I think the big question that I have for PSG is the goalkeeping position. That was such a strength for them last season. And so many people will talk about Ousmane Dembélé, that front three, frightening, right? But the goalkeeping position could be what delays them from maybe getting not even past this round, but for sure semifinal. I think they'll be in that group of Real Madrid that gets their semifinal. I mean, this is a group that's young, it's intact, and the X factor that they have, and we talk about the importance, you'd mentioned the manager. To have someone who's a winner, a stone-cold winner at the top, Luis Enrique, the demand that he has on these players, that is everything. But we can't discount, and I've said this before, it was the one thing that I thought could have derailed them from winning Liga, the Club World Cup. We've seen injuries come left and right. Bradley Barcola, we don't know how he's going to come back. It's opened the door for some youngsters. But when you look at this team, guys, I mean, this is a team that's really good. Another position I'm going to point out, this is not Fabio Ruiz.
Yeah.
It's not the same PSG team, but it still has the same PSG DNA, which is frightening for the rest of Europe.
I do think the goalkeeper is not a minor point in all of this. Because when Real Madrid went back to back to back, they had extraordinary hands in goal in Keylor Navas. Keylor was exceptional, you know? So man for man, you need to have that consistency, and it just, we're gonna know our answer to whether Luis Enrique got it right or wrong, depending on how they do in the Champions League and how, it's not even Safonov performs, like Chevalier lost his starting position, you know?
Go back to what you said just now, what made Real Madrid so successful. Keep your manager, keep your players. We know it's the same manager. This is largely the same group of players, hasn't it? And it has largely, other than here, it has largely the same feel about it.
Yeah.
So the recipe hasn't really changed.
Look how massive Donnarumma was in that leg against Liverpool last season.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to see Safonov.
The spice has changed quite a bit with that.
I want to see Safonov have that type of game when they're under pressure. I haven't seen PSG under that type of pressure. I don't know if Liverpool can bring that heat again this season, but in a semi-final, 2 legs,
Donnarumma
maybe
was man of the
Liverpool
match
can.
against Arsenal. He put Arsenal out. So that just shows the importance of a goalkeeper. So
yeah,
you're right. I think you're right to highlight.
And not just limited to
could be the difference.
Not just limited to PSG. We saw it with both of the games that we saw yesterday. But Nico, if PSG is able to do it, if they can go back to back, how does that change the legacy of this team, of this club, the players, the manager?
Luis Enrique has already won 2 Champions Leagues. If he wins a 3rd, I don't know how much higher in the echelons of management he could be.
But the 3rd is back-to-back, Nico, so what are you adding on top?
I do think he enters in that category if he's not already with the Ancelottis and the Guardiola, and in the sake of winning. Obviously, Ancelotti has won more than Luis Enrique, but it does catapult him, I think, into a different level if you're able to go back-to-back, just because winning this sort of elite trophy, it's not about winning Liga back-to-back, right? You're winning the Champions League back-to-back, and I think that just gives it a different taste, but I already think he's up there. He's in a different realm of manager anyway.
Yeah, you put him in legacy secured, right?
I don't think it'll...
Legacy secured already without going back-to-back.
If he was to win the Champions League back-to-back, I want to put a caveat to this. Back-to-back without Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah,
He said,
point.
Kylian, you want to leave? Go. The team is better without you. And their team is better without Kylian. I never thought I would say a PSG team would be better than without Kylian Mbappe because they have the right manager, because they have the right principles. And the way they play football, and look, I was drinking the PSG Kool-Aid. How could you not, watching them play the Champions League final? But the way they play football, it's so refreshing because it is about the team.
Right.
They are so relentless when they press you. And we've seen every single player that he's managed with this PSG side has gone from being a decent player to a really good player, or a really good player to just about world class. I mean, he has had such a monumental impact on PSG, and I think when we look back, I think we'll start just appreciating how much more, but we're going to appreciate it a hell of a lot more if they win back-to-back.
You've also given some flowers. I know talking about administrators and club owners is boring, but they chucked out their model. They chucked out the Real Madrid Galacticos model. They changed completely. They changed the DNA of the club. That is also part of the current success.
Well, PSG and Liverpool go head-to-head today. 3 p.m. is the kickoff. We'll see how the first leg plays out for them.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.